Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has dropped a little bit. This does not seem like a problem in the first instance, but if we take a look at the chart, it might be one. It might lead to dropping prices going forward, and we're going to take a look at that in a minute. Overall, you can see the crypto market, a little bit indecisive. Some cryptos up, some down. Nothing really to point out here at the moment. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. So this is the Bitcoin chart. We had this triangle on the chart yesterday. We said that there will be some movement and that there will be a breakout in the next 1 or 2 days. So that breakout happened already. It actually happened, I think, just before the candle close, just before the daily candle close. And this is the 4-hour chart, by the way. So after my last video, we had a fake out to the upside. And that is actually quite bearish. If you have these fake outs before, just within the apex, this is typically, this means that the price usually or often goes the other way. So how it currently looks for me is like that the price of this triangle or out of this triangle, we obviously broke out, had a fake out, and then the price dropped back into the triangle and moved to the other side. And what we're currently doing, we are currently just retesting this previous support level for resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised, and again, there's a few different ways of drawing this. You can just use the candle bodies. What might happen is that this green candle here might actually go a little bit higher and might just retest previous support for resistance, depending on, or just here that the other one here, the resistance line, but could go a little bit higher, maybe to, if you see the price go to 46.3, that could be the retest of that previous support line, or the other one. So we've got a descending trend line here, we've got an ascending trend line here. And if it tests that, then what we could see in the next instance, that they do a little bit of a move down here, with the next target would then be here, that 45.5k level. And if we lose that, I think we're going to get down to 44 point, in the area of 44.5k. Could be a bit lower. It's a bit of a zone here of support. So basically, if I draw that on the chart, so it would be starting here where the candle closed on the 4-hour chart, going all the way down to the wick. So that this is not necessarily a target or buying area, but it is a support zone where the price would then fall into if we have that 45.5k level broken. So unless Bitcoin can move above this ascending trend line or the descending trend line, I think it will now go down. We've got a bit of a double top going on here, so, and make a series of lower highs. I mean, that's not necessarily a problem given that we're also making higher lows, that is the thing in a triangle, you do that, and if you then break out of a triangle, either way, then this tells you basically where the price is most likely to go next. And the problem here is that we had a fake out to the upside, and now the price has then exited the triangle the other way. And while we're talking, actually, we can exactly see the price move higher. We can see the price move towards that 46.3k, towards that resistance level or former support. Interesting. So as we always say, you don't know in which direction a price is breaking out or a pattern is breaking out until we really have seen the breakout. So as I said here, double top, not a good sign. I mean, we had that wick here, which was a slightly higher high, but it's only a wick and it was not even a 4-hour candle close above that one we had. And here you can see why it's always so important to wait for the 4-hour candle close. The hourly isn't that meaningful. So I've got that triangle here, and we broke out in that hour. Then we actually closed the candle above that, but then it was a fake out and we dropped down. And this could now be seen as a small bear flag as well. So you've got your flagpole from all the way up here, from 47.5k. And what we're now doing is just, forming a small channel here on the 1-hour chart. So pretty much very clear bearish flag. It's an ascending wedge that you're forming here, and that could, again, more often than not, break to the downside and could then really push the price lower, potentially here, as I said, to that support zone very close to it. So I think it will certainly be an interesting day where we are going to see here some volatility, given that Bitcoin has just broken out of that pattern, given that Bitcoin made that fake out. And also let's take a look at the indicators. I mean, the hourly is currently going up a little bit, and that is expected if we move to that 46.3, 46.35k level. The 4-hour chart was going to do a bullish crossover here when we broke that to the upside, that fake out, but then it broke down again, and now we are back in a bearish crossover. So that is not bullish. That means that the momentum is turning actually to the downside. The RSI a bit indecisive, just moving sideways, but the MACD clearly showing here bearish signals. And on the daily chart, also here you can see that the daily momentum on the RSI, the daily momentum on the MACD is constantly being reduced. That's what I've been warning of in the last few videos, that the next movements of Bitcoin could be decided here on the daily chart, on the MACD, on the RSI, because we were overbought and we were decreasing buying momentum or positive momentum. And if you see a bearish crossover here on the daily, the last few times that happened, we moved from these tops all the way to the bottom of the lower support of the channel. Yeah, so this could happen again. Not saying it will, but it's something to keep an eye on. And we are just above, just about to make that bearish crossover here. And the last times that happened, the downside move actually happened briefly before we saw the bearish crossover. So be prepared for a move down, especially as we broke out of that triangle to the downside. And we already talked about that 8-hour chart bearish crossover that we had here. I mean, it's now constantly reducing negative momentum, but if now the daily turns negative, then this will also push the 8-hour one down further. Yeah, so I think that is interesting what is going on here. So my view would be currently, and I just have to assume that because we have faked out to the upside, we're currently below the triangle. My view would be that we at least see the 45.5k level again. Possibly if we lose that, even here that support zone. And if we drop any further, especially below 42.6, 42.7, then we have to unpack our previous primary scenario again, which would mean that we're going to go into that sell-off straight away, into that yellow target area. Until then, I remain of my view that we're going to go higher first, and it could just be another retest of the 45.5k level or the 44.5k level, or in the worst case, even here the 42.6k level. Okay, that's my view on Bitcoin today. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.